My wife and I have been married now 4 years and together for 7, all said and done except for the obvious title. I was happy. I thought she was too. We just moved into our new house together and we're planning to have our first child later this year. To get down to it, a week ago was her birthday. And I noticed a guy she had been friends with was messaging her on Instagram, and I assumed it was just sort of happy birthday, etc. I casually asked her and she seemed to be a little startled. I would be asking and then got defensive. It was weird, but I actually didn't think anything of it for as long as we have dated. I have never since not to trust her. She's open with phones and she's never given me any reason not to. I had an ex before her who cheated on me. So I felt like I never worried with her. She never gave off the same vibes as my ex. She was acting strange and distant the rest of the night, and then it gets to the point of like, okay, there's something going on here for me. I'm thinking I definitely did something to piss her off. And I'm like, what do I need to apologize for? I keep asking her what's wrong and she finally just starts sobbing uncontrollably. Now, my heart is sinking and I'm thinking something is very wrong. She finally, after like 45 minutes of just crying, it meant she did something really bad. She says she had an affair 3 years ago with the guy. She was messaging and basically her insides were eating with guilt. She's always felt guilty. But since I questioned her directly and she lied, it became unbearable. But she claimed this had been 3 years of guilt almost every day. Long story short, we got married and 6 months later, she had an opportunity to live and work in Costa Rica for 3 months and learn Spanish. I had just started my job and moving to Costa Rica wasn't something I wanted or could do. It was a goal of hers for years. I had known about it and I didn't want to stand in her way. So I encouraged her to go and we would just date long distance for that period. She went down and it was hard to not be with her. But I thought it wasn't that out of the ordinary. We talked often and I even flew down there twice to visit her. Nothing seemed suspicious. She came back. She didn't show signs of anything, and all in all, it seemed like she had a great experience. This is what I knew of it until she told me a different story. I wanted to hear the full details to at least know what she did. It was surreal and devastating to know she cheated. But I needed to know exactly what it was. I actually kind of regret asking for this after hearing it, but at the time it was killing me not to know the actual truth. When I asked her, I thought it wouldn't be possible to just know she cheated and it was a mistake. I would always wonder how far she went and if it was like a kiss or worse. It was worse. She seemed to be honest about it because I don't think if she was sugarcoating it, she would have said this. She met a guy in her class early on the trip. They started getting lunches and dinners together, they got drunk and it turned sexual. It didn't end there. They kept having sex the rest of the trip. They even took some trips together to see beaches and other tourist sites for all intents and purposes. They were dating. He wanted more and she told them during it was a mistake. She was playing both of us, I guess. And it would end when she went back to her. It was a fantasy that got out of control. She admitted it made her feel good at the time. She liked being with him. She liked him. She liked his sex and adventure. She compartmentalized her being there as a different world, and even though she knew it was terrible, she kept doing it. She didn't want to be with him. She wanted to stay with me, but she never made a serious effort to end the affair while she was there. She cut him off almost completely. At the end of the trip, she showed me her phone and messages and they seem to support that story and nothing is deleted. I am stunned. It sounds almost psychopathic. How could she live 2 lives like that? I'm really angry as I trusted her on this trip. And I'm sitting at home working and she's on the beach with some guy. She didn't even make it 6 months of marriage. I'm venting, but it's unbelievable that she did this. We have been non-stop arguing in just rounds of craziness the entire past week. She wants to do everything she can to fix it, and it seems genuine. But at the same time, it's hard to even recognize her. I haven't been able to work in a week, as every 15 minutes, images of them together flash through my head and I feel sick. I feel like I'm having Stockholm Syndrome though, because she is still with me and we live together when she explains it and cries and apologizes. I want to believe her and I actually see her side. Then when I'm away from her, I get angry again. It's like a vicious cycle. I feel like I'm walking around in a daze. She has got us a marriage counselor and wants to start going to meetings. I do think she really does regret it. But at the same time, I feel like I've been totally played a fool. I don't see how she respects me or cares about me if she did that. It's been 3 years ago also makes it hard, since it feels like the past 3 years are a lie. It also makes it hard because we both have a lot of admittedly sunk cost. We built a house together in a new place that basically took 2 years. She financed it all. But I put all the work in. I feel like I made the mistake of not leaving immediately after hearing the news and thinking about this independently. I realized over the past week how dependent I am on her. I feel embarrassed to tell any friend or family what happened. Maybe out of fear I will stay with her and they will always resent her and just the humiliation of what happened. Part of me thinks I'm just shocked and upset and believe her that it was a mistake that's in the past. In 2 years now going by, she has been my best friend. Other parts of me can't even look at her the same way and don't know how I can trust her. I want to see a positive way out of this. But I feel like how can we even recover from such a total disregard and disrespect for me? I can't help but feel like she doesn't really respect me. And that's why she wrote this post, because I'm trying to sort it all out and feeling like I'm biased or trying to look for hope, and maybe I need to be told there is none. Well, in my opinion, the fact that it only took her 6 months into the marriage to cheat. Divorce is the only option. In this case, I believe she will cheat again. Then I would contact a lawyer to see if the marriage can be annulled. Second, why do they always want to run to a marriage counselor? A marriage counselor is not a guarantee. You did need a counselor before you married. Why do you need one now? Wait, I cheated. I need help. Remember, try not to let someone make a fool out of you. I will leave a link in the description for this story. I found it on Reddit. It was posted yesterday, March 17, 2023. Don't know if we'll come back with an update until next time.